Hello, happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm getting to record today in the studio rather than in the office. We had all this set up and the client ended up having to reschedule, so it's kind of one of those funny days with that. So I was like, I'm at least going to go record with all of my beautiful equipment, even though I am still recording on a cell phone with a lav, not the beautiful mic that's in front of me. But, hey.
You can't see the lav.
I'm using what I have. But if the sound that they're getting is from the lab, not from this, and I would be a little let down if I saw this microphone and was like, that is not the sound I'm getting. So anyway, Ben's back there recording for me. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the convention that we just did last week. So, it was a neat thing to get to go do. Wrote an article on LinkedIn about good practices for setting up a vendor booth. We tend to have really good success at events with those. So wanted to share some of our things for success with that, and I'll link it in the description. So if you want to go check out that article, you can. But a lot of things that happen at those conventions typically steer more around your person-to-person interactions versus having a gorgeous booth. So if you imagine going to a gorgeous booth and I've got all this stuff, but every person who's working it is staring at their cell phone or not engaging, is that going to matter? Not really. So I focused the article on actionable steps that you can do that don't require a giant budget. So anyway, you can go check that out there, but that's not even really the point. I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that was there and that was something I worked on. But going back to the convention, one of the exercises that we had to do in one of my seminars that I got to actually go and sit at talked about finding our champions. And when I was at the event, it was one of those when you're sitting there trying to fill out the worksheet, you can only think of a couple of people. And it's you're kind of sitting there and you're even racking your brain to get that couple of people. And you're like, oh, maybe I don't have as many champions as I thought. And just thinking through a couple of people who have been so ultra supportive for us, such as Russ Cantu, Melissa Chalico. I always mispronounce her last name, but and then who was the other person I put down? Now I'm not having trouble even thinking the other person I put down. I did put down 3, and hopefully I'll come up with it here in a minute. But it was a moment of sitting there and going through that and feeling like that. But then that night I went home and all of a sudden it was wait a minute, think about all the people that we have as cheerleaders with this. And I started thinking about the friends that we've met along the way in all of our networking group. And who are cheerleading us on, even if they're not clients in here, they've been on the podcast. So let's just start going through podcast guests with Lauren Allen, Cassandra Altman, Tim Captain, Sean Tiberio, Nick Marie. We have had so many guests and we have more to come. And then when we talk to people, they get excited about what we're doing too. And they just want to come in and join us on this journey. And it's exciting to get to do that. And so I was oh, so this list is so much bigger than I thought it was at the beginning. And that's even just a teeny little list. We've met so many people. I could keep going on and on and on. But another side of that kind of hit me. And I hadn't had a chance to put this on. And this is going to seem unrelated, but they are related. So just stay with me. Was one of the things that I was going to was talking about, fears and facing your fears with business. And one of them was the fear of failure, which, yeah, we're scared to fail. We don't want to fail. We don't want to fall flat on our faces. And at 40, that has happened to me quite a bit. I have gotten to walk through failures and things. But something that hit me was suddenly realizing the fear to succeed. And it was a weird kind of place Sunday night into Monday morning coming into work when I had this anxiety. And it wasn't anxiety that thinks something was going to suddenly go bad. It wasn't anxiety I'm going to suddenly fall under. Instead, it was more this anxiety of, what if I have 100 emails? What if I have all this work? How am I going to do this? How am I going to handle this? What happens if we succeed? How is that going to work? And I'm suddenly getting a success anxiety bubble, I guess is how you would explain it. And oh, maybe it's not so much now that I'm having this fear of failure, but rather I'm being held back by the fear to succeed. And what would it look like to succeed, and being ready and having the steps in place to move forward. So I've been looking at my week, so far this week, and kind of reevaluating some things through that lens and just starting to really set up for, what is this going to look like when we succeed? Not if, when. And where do I need to be starting to position myself for that? And have been, really starting to move certain tasks off of my plate into other areas so that we're ready for that. Thinking about what are the $5 tasks, what are the $1,000 tasks, that type of thing, so that you're able to move it away so that you can focus on what's actually going to drive business, what's actually going to drive revenue, those types of things for the business. So that's where I'm at right now. I don't have answers just yet. I'm in the middle of it. So it's going to be a journey in moving forward with that. I just want to really say thank you to everybody who is supporting us. And I've shouted out some of you before. Some of these are new shout outs. You guys have been incredible. And we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here at this point today if it wasn't for your guys' support. And I just really want to say thank you in all of that. So moving forward, we will be here. We're not going anywhere. Tomorrow we'll probably not have a vlog, and that's where that is because it's Wednesday and there's a day game with the Padres. So in and out of the office, but we will be back here Thursday. So I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.